Welcome back, friends! Another exciting day in Empires and Puzzles brings us a brand new portal. Nothing shocking there, right? But what did arrive? It is a new Covenant summon, and with it comes a new construct as well. We have gotten quite a few constructs, which is quite interesting. Hopefully by this point you've been able to collect one. I know there's no guarantees, but these new constructs are interesting. It's nice to have at least one or two of them in your roster. Let's see what they're offering us this time around. So, we do get a guy called Featherweight. All right. So the interesting part about that is, like, looking at this guy's picture, he does not look light as a feather in any way whatsoever. That looks like a big honkin' mech type thing that's obviously powered by some sort of water core. Neat. Featherweight, sure. All right, moving on. What does he actually do? He is a paladin, so we're going to get that class bonus of the additional armor increase that will happen. Then we also have a family bonus of the Construct Core. A reminder of what the Construct Core is, well, that is going to have to go down here and take a closer look. This guy has the Minion Core. And the Minion Core is going to charge up as he takes damage, and as he does, the minions he summons will get stronger. So let's take a look at what they do at full power. With a fully charged Minion Core, it will summon Killer Bot Minion with 33% HP and 55% attack, inherited from the caster on all allies. Is that higher than it used to be? Maybe it's always been 33% health. For some reason, I thought it was a little lower. Anyway, moving on from there, the HP and attack inherited from the caster are scaled by the amount of charge in the core. All charge is exhausted when the core is activated. Before the Killer Bot Minion hits a target, it will destroy all minions from the target and damage Mega Minions. That's pretty nice, honestly, because if you're playing a little minion war, you can take out their minions easier than they can take out yours in most situations. Unless you both have constructs, and then it's whoever constructs minions are attacking first, right? So, fun. Okay, and then it says the Killer Bot Minion recovers 5% health for its owner at the end of each turn. Nice little extra heal. And Wither as well. Each hit from a Killer Bot Minion gives the target negative 50 attack. This actually adds up over the course of a fight. You don't really think about it because they're tiny little hits, but each turn, if you're getting withered by 50 attack, it will add up over time, and it does make them a little bit more interesting. I appreciate that as well. Okay, moving on. We get our Aether Power of Defense up. This is just going to make him tankier for the first 6 turns, which is never necessarily a bad thing, especially considering when you look down here, you will see that he does Heavy Drain, but it operates at slow speed. Rough. Okay. So anytime we get a hero with a slow speed special, I really want the special to be of real significance. Like, to get to slow speed, it better be the type of special that can flip a script in an entire fight, or else, honestly, like, it probably would be ideal to be faster. So let's take a look at what he does and see if it's enough to warrant slow speed. Deals 400% damage to the target and nearby enemies. Okay, that's not amazing, but okay. Steals all dispellable buffs from the target and nearby enemies, and then randomly distributes them on allies. I do like a good buff steal, and... well, it's a dispel, but not just a spell. It's a buff steal. What I would like to see, though, is when they steal these buffs, I would like them to be refreshed at full duration. We're not getting that. So if there's only 1 turn left on the buff, you're only getting 1 turn for your guys as well. It's a small little caveat, but I think it would make specials like this a lot more interesting if it refreshed the buff durations. Okay, and then it says down here that the caster steals 85% of any healing applied to the target and nearby enemies for 5 turns. I mean, I do kind of like that because he's not only taking and reducing their healing done, he's healing himself at the same time. Again, once again, it's not just a heal reduction, it's a health steal. Just like it's not just a dispel he's doing, it's a buff steal. So he's very good at stealing so far. And then the caster steals generated mana, okay, there we go, of the target and nearby enemies over 5 turns, starting low and increasing every turn until the last turn where all guaranteed mana generation is stolen. This effect can't be cleansed, but gets removed if the caster is defeated. Okay. So once again, this guy's a stealing master. Like, I understand why they made him a paladin, but in all honesty, he sounds a lot more like a rogue to me because he's stealing everything you got. Like, he's like that loan shark that you owe money to that's going to show up and break your legs if you don't make payment, right? He's going to literally take the food off your fork before you get to eat it. That's this guy's gold. That's his jam. Like, he does operate at slow speed, so there's at least the opportunity to remove him before he becomes an issue. But this guy can be problematic if you're talking about enemies that do not have the potential to reflect or resist, right? So understand that everything he's doing here, except for his 400% damage hit, is all going to be resistible by the right characters. So your tunes, your stylish, I'm pretty sure stylish is going to be able to resist all of this stuff. Your monks will have that natural ability to resist the majority of these effects. And even stuff like Mana Shield for clerics should protect them from the stealing of the mana generation. Certain family bonuses and passives will protect against a lot of this stuff as well. So that's my thing. Like, look, I think what this guy's doing is great. And if you can hit 3 targets that do not have resistance to this gentleman's effects, he's more or less removing 3 targets from the fight, or at least like knocking them to a position where they're not going to be nearly as impactful, right? Like he really is doing that for you. I definitely feel like slow is going to be tough to operate this guy at, because in reality, I would like his effect to be hitting the field faster so that you can hopefully control things before they get a chance to cast the majority of their specials. By this guy operating at slow speed, I do believe the opposing side will probably get their first round of specials off first, at least in an offensive team, unless you get really lucky with like a blue diamond in your opening board kind of deal. So like I think that's probably where I think this guy's falling a bit flat. So I'm talking about the things I like and don't like. I didn't mention we transitioned into that, but that's where we're at right now. We're talking about the pros and cons of the guy. Very impactful if he lands on his 3 targets with all of his debuffs. He will control the field from that point moving forward. But my question is it too little too late? That is very possible. So yeah, I don't know. And plus, with this guy being a paladin, he doesn't have resistance against any of those control effects like a mindless or something to that effect. So just understand that I feel like this guy can be impactful, but he's not the type of impactful that you're probably looking for. We need something a little bit more to really control the field. I think this guy does deserve an 8 overall, but due to the fact that there's so many ways that you can avoid his effects on the field, I don't know if I'd put him any higher than an 8. He's a perfectly serviceable, adequate character who, when making the right attack team, if they've got a bunch of heroes that just are not resistant to him, by all means, take him, and if he gets off, he's going to control 3 out of 5 of them, basically wipe out the field at that point. But you have to be selective where you're using him, and because of that, I don't think he's going to be an overly effective defensive unit overall. I mean, good enough, maybe, but I feel like there's definitely better choices for defense. So yeah, there you have it. We'll give him an 8 overall. And yeah, I do appreciate you tuning in to hear about Featherweight. He is definitely fun. And of course, as always with these slow heroes in Rush, this is a whole different story. I think if he's activated at fast speed in Rush, that he can affect the field before the opponents get a chance to do things. And that will change everything when it comes to this guy's potential. So in Rush, looking great. Okay, thank you all for listening. And again, if you like what I do, you can consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm still on that final leg of my journey towards 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm down to needing like 22. So yeah, we're getting there. If you want to help push me over that barrier, you can consider hitting subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.